Hey there, welcome to the Aquafit Club. We got a new video for you today, and we're going to talk about how to go about sizing your horse for a rope halter. And if you see here, I got my big red boy here with me, and he's got a rope halter on. And I actually got this rope halter, I believe it's through naughtygirls.com. And I love this halter for training. I've used it on different horses, and it's not customized. It's just a standard horse size halter. But if you are going to use a rope halter for any kind of training that you want to do, make sure that it fits. There's nothing worse than having a halter on the horse and you're trying to communicate, to the horse with this halter, and it's sliding around their face. So you want to make sure it's fitted. It should have a snug fit, but not really tight. You don't want it having rubbing spots where it's rubbing hair off of their face. And you also don't want it so loose so that it's moving. So if I go to pull this halter here, I want to make sure that the other side is not going up towards his eye, because that could damage the horse's eye. So now if you look at this halter, there are certain places that you want it to fit properly. So I'm going to make measurements in those places. So the first measurement I want to take is across the nose. So if you see here on this halter, he has 4 knots, okay, and those knots are placed on either side of the bridge of that nose in certain spots, and those are sort of acupressure points. So I want to be able to drop down. You see right here the point, the base of where his cheek is, that bone is right there. I want to be about 1 inch or 2 off of that, and I want to make my first measurement there. So I want to measure basically from where the first knot is all the way across, come on Sonny, to where the other knot is. And this piece right across here is going to be the nose. So I want to make that the first measurement. So I want to take a soft measurement tape and measure from here to here. That's my first measurement. Now the second measurement, I actually want to make a whole measurement all the way around the nose. So again, I want to start in that same spot. I can bring my tape all the way around and up. And it's helpful if you don't move your head, buddy. And now I can make that measurement right here and see how that fits. Now the next measurement that I need is going to be the gullet. And that's where you see here, it goes from this knot to this knot right here. And this gullet area right here is what I need a measurement for. So right about here in that spot, same spot where this band is going to come around, I want to measure from about here to here, and that gives me the measurement of the gullet. The next piece that I want to measure is going to be the cheek piece, because it's going to be important that I know how long this piece is all the way up here to right about here where that TMJ joint is. So I want to take my tape and I want to measure from that bottom point on his cheek right about there. So I'm right sort of halfway between the top of his eye and the bottom of his ear. And then that's going to give me basic measurement for this cheek piece that's right here. And it's important because I want to make sure it's not too long or too short. The next piece that I need to measure is going to be the crown. So that's going to be from here, right about from here, to the other side. Thank you. So I can get a piece right about there. So that gives me right across the top of that pole. And that gives me a good measurement for the crown piece. Because what you want to make sure is that this piece that comes across the top of the head is not going to be really, really long. You see right here when I made my knot, I've got, probably about 6 inches that's sticking out here. When it gets to be really, really long, more than 6 inches, then you can kind of like cut it off and burn the edge of it if you need to. Also you don't want it really, really short like this either, because you want to have enough room to make those adjustments that you need to make. The last piece that I need to know is the throat. Okay, so you can see right here, this piece right here is coming around the throat latch. Okay, I want to make sure I can still stack fingers in through here, because I don't want a whole lot of pressure right up under here, under his throat. So I don't want it real tight like this. okay? Because that's not going to be comfortable for him. And at the same time, I don't want it hanging down really loose either, okay? So I'm going to want to take a measurement of what that throat latch is going to be. Come here. Yes, I hear the donkey braying. So I can feel where that knot is. And I can come up right about there. And I've got a measurement of that throat latch. So those are the pieces and the areas that you need to take measurements on for your horse so that you get the proper fitting rope halter for them. And it's going to make training and communication a lot easier. And if you go on, I got this halter from naughtygirls.com, and I really love this halter because I've used it on him, I've used it on a couple other clients' horses as well, and it fits them perfectly. And like I said, it's not a customized halter, but I do like it because right here at the bottom under the chin where this loop is, this lead attaches directly to it. I don't have a metal piece in between, so it makes communication with the horses a lot easier. Okay, and I can also order the length of this lead, like in an 8-foot, a 10-foot, 12-foot, 14-foot, whatever I want to work with. And it does have the leather popper then at the end. If you go on to their website, as well as there's a couple other places that you can shop too, but I know that on their website they have a nice chart, and it tells you based on each of those measurements in inches or in centimeters, what size you would need for what animal you have. So if you have a mini horses, you have mini donkeys, you got regular donkeys, mules, small horses, cobs, standard horses, draft horses, they'll give you an indication of what size you need to order from them. So again, pretty easy, but make sure you get the right measurements in the right places so that you can get a proper fitting rope halter, and it'll do you good in your training. As always, see you next video. Bye.